enough with the rest of this show. Let's get on to the bit we've all been waiting for. The Unbound, the Trandoshan Empire, and Ismir present Hot Cyborz for Dummies. Now, step one of getting Hot Cyborz in Star Wars Galaxies, or indeed anywhere on the internet, is to get the bling. Chicks go nuts for the bling. Get yourself a huge, great, big... guys?
Now, most everyone at one point or another has heard some of the woes of our small but tight-knit smuggler community, which is a group that's probably been the most consistently screwed over among SWG players. But how much does everyone really know about the smugglers and what they've come through remaining faithful to their profession? Although unable to make it here in person, we're now connected to one of the best equipped to answer those questions. Please welcome Firestar, the Galactic Senator for the smuggler community. Firestar, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to be here.
So, how long have you been playing?
I started playing 2 weeks before the CU.
Right, so smuggler. Why smuggler?
Ancient weapons and hokey religions are no match for a good blaster at your side. I hate the fact that Star Wars is thought of as a Jedi. It's all about Jedi. When in reality, the original trilogy was about the whole world. The fact that, you had... everybody had a story. Even the person sitting in the stands for like the pod race. Everyone had a story. Everyone had a job. The tale may have been about the redemption of Anakin, but the vehicle by which A New Hope was carried, the one force that actually bound everything together in that script, wasn't some mystical energy. It was a scruffy-looking nerf herder in a fast ship.
If there's any reason to play a profession and stick with it, I think you nailed it right there. But during your time here, what have you seen the smuggler profession go through that you find most notable, good and bad?
Our community is like nowhere else in any other game that I've played. We're definitely a tight-knit bunch, and I love the fact that the most part, we all have the same desires for the profession. And aside from a few issues, the smuggler community wants the same thing because we all have been through the same thing. The worst thing I've seen the smuggler community go through is the loss of our hybrid status. The fact that we lost over half of our profession perks was quite a blow. We lost everything we had. The ability to craft spice was gone, all of our old slicing gear was removed from the game. The simple perk of Jawa speak and Leiku comprehension that only smugglers had was also gone. I don't think the devs quite realize how much those little things meant to us. But a smuggler did what a smuggler always does. We took to the stars and we waited.
And clearly part of that wait, at least for you, has meant the attainment of a position of considerable influence. What are the most and least rewarding parts about being a senator for this profession for you?
The most rewarding part about being a senator is the ability to have our needs met to the devs. We have quite a few things that are wrong with us, a lot more so than any of the other professions, and the fact that I have a chance to help fix things for the better means a lot. Least rewarding thing is I lose a bit of my playtime, and sometimes I feel as if I'm doing the community a disservice by not playing enough.
So in your opinion, what does the smuggler community want the most? What do they need the most? And is there really any difference between those?
Always the smuggling. We've been wanting smuggling since the beginning, and still we don't have it. Yes, I know there's a system of sorts in game, but it's not a real system, and it needs a lot of work. During the CU, most of our profession was about servicing the community. A reputation had to be built because we were trusted to hold onto a full set of armor or some weapons that cost somewhere in the millions of credits. The fact that we built up that kind of reputation and give it back was very, very rewarding. I'll never forget someone walking halfway across Yavin to give me a full set of ADK armor to slice. But we definitely want that interdependency back.
Galileo is standing on top of the Tower of Pisa holding a feather and an iron ball. He drops both, then falls himself. Taking into account the difference in mass when Galileo hits the ground, how badly will the Empire have beaten the Rebellion?
I don't think the Empire will ever beat the Rebellion.
Incorrect, but that's alright. So given its current state, what is Smuggler's most valuable position in the game?
Crowd control is our most valuable position. Not so much with the resistance percentages for Golden Elites, but we have the most snares out of any profession in the game. Now, the fact that our snares do little good against higher level mobs really puts the smuggler out of groups or puts them aside for certain areas, like Avatar and the Deathwatch bunker. It really feels like we're more of a tag-along than anything else. I have seen some of the new Aurelian jewelry, and I think it's really frustrating that this was the answer. Another insane grind for smugglers to do, and only high levels can use it. So what about the other 85 levels? I'm really irritated that the answer is being hurry up and get to 90 in order to become anywhere near viable. The fact that we have to go through 4 different grinds, 2 more than the other professions, is really frustrating.
So given that, where do you think Smuggler will be after the launch of Chapter 7?
The same place we are now, waiting.
But all previous and current iterations of SWG aside, what's your ideal Smuggler gameplay experience? What do you think it should be like?
My ideal experience would be the ability to walk up to a few NPCs that are peppered throughout the galaxy, much like how the informants worked in the old bounty hunter system. Have each NPC specialized in giving out a different type of mission. Now, there are 4 types in-game: PvP, ground game, space, and a contraband run. And to have that reward that is given at the end be a tradable commodity that the player base has a want for. Being able to walk away with a few credits in my pocket helps too.
Well, I believe as long as they have someone with that kind of vision at the helm, Smuggler's only going to be stuck where it is for so long. Firestar, thanks again for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. I'll see you in-game.
Thanks once again to everyone tuning in. Our next episode is no doubt going to follow close on the heels of the Chapter 7 release, and we're going to make sure you know the latest, greatest, and most important tidbits about it. Also, be sure to look forward to an official update on Sunrunner's upcoming pilot community area, where the most talented of pilots, crafters, and support staff will come together to revitalize space on Sunrunner. For Sunrunner's Empire, the Red Dragon Platoon, and the only server worth playing on, I'm Durgan. Galaxies, keep logging in.